They'd issue you live with issues.
Wow, or not. Today's show brought to you by Trina Neely, Almighty Computers, and Maiden's Wholesale. Thank you all for your messages, for contributing here on
live
social
feed was
media.
lit, Shani.
Yes, the live feed totally lit. Nikea says, Pastor speaking truth, broken people playing house. Guys, thank you so much for your phone calls. All the guys that called in, really super. Thank you all so much, Mandel, Carlos, and Kizzy. Thanks
the guys
for coming out today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Listen, we had an incredible week. Next week is going to be even more fantastic. Stay exactly where you are. The news at 6 is straight ahead. God bless. Have a great weekend.
Expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of
And when we live long enough to see them succeed, then we know that we have done a great thing, because that's what we're here for.
Once we get to the kids and we can get Jesus in their heart, then if only we affect one child, that child goes to school in the neighborhood where they might have at least 30 children in the class, and time they spread that good joy, that would be tremendous.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you. You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, the unions representing workers at Bahamas Power and Light weighing in on the proposed right-sizing at that company. Plus, a former bank employee pleads guilty to stealing by reason of employment. And get ready to neck roll as a 4-member girl group releases a music video of their hit single.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. One day after officials from Bahamas Power and Light said they were moving to right-size operations at the company, unions representing those employees held a press conference of their own today, making it clear they do not support any plan for redundancies and called upon executives to meet with them to address the issues. Jiminy DeSwain was there and tells us tonight that the union is planning to take action to have their concerns addressed if the need arises.
All they have to do is come to us and we can wait the situation out. And we are not going to be talking about this in the press. And if we got to hear something in the press again, they ain't going to like what happens.
President of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, Paul Maynard, reacting to news from that Bahamas Power and Light press conference Thursday, where it was suggested a downsizing was forthcoming at the corporation. He, along with representatives from the Managers Union, held their own press conference Friday to vent their frustrations over being left in the dark and hearing proposed plans by way of the media. In fact, Maynard promises a fight to protect employees' jobs.
It ain't gonna happen, not while I's the president. And I can tell you right now that it can be a long, hot summer if they choose to go about it this way.
Maynard insisting reducing staff numbers won't do much.
If God come down out of heaven today and say, listen, all the staff must go home, how much money do you think you can save? 2 to 3 cents a kilowatt hour.
There will be more from that press conference coming up in the Bahamas Tonight. I'm Jiminy DeSwain.
ZNS Network News.
Bahamas Power and Light CEO Whitney Bastien attempting to set the record straight with regards to staffing levels, which the corporation foreshadowed yesterday. Tashina Robinson-Blair reports.
BPL is not at war with the union. BPL CEO Whitney Hasty making that declaration at a press conference this afternoon. Mr. Hasty is denying that it's a case of semantics when he claims that BPL wants to right-size as opposed to downsize.
Oh, we're not playing semantics. Absolutely not. We won't play semantics with people's lives. We realize that people's lives are very important, and we honor and respect that. The difference in right-sizing and downsizing lends itself to really forcefully moving people out of the organization, right? Right-sizing is obviously moving where there are weaknesses, bringing in some strengths. Where there are shortfalls, obviously shoring those up. And then in addition to that, the voluntary separation says that somebody may decide, with 5 years in this organization, 15, 20, 25 years, right, depending on what the package offers, may decide that, hey, it's time for me to move on.
This all stemmed from a press statement made Thursday by BPL's Deputy Chairman Patrick Rollins.
All the stakeholders agree that at 1,050 employees, especially as we implement new automated procedures, there's going to be a need to right-size. And so we're in discussions now, we're in the planning stage discussions to eventually at some point have a right-sizing exercise within the organization.
Yeah.
ID number of staff? Mm-hmm. Well, in the last the last business plan, I think I think
it was almost 300.
Yeah, 300 people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On Friday, the corporation says it doesn't recognize that number first floated in a Power Secure business plan as accurate. Mr. Hasty says BPL intends to meet with the union regarding voluntary separation packages.
We feel pretty comfortable that once we sit down and look at what the package would be, and once we meet with the union and refine those packages before we go out to the employees at large, that we should be able to meet the numbers that's going to be needed to right-size this organization.
Considering the corporation is cash-strapped, the economy sluggish, it's uncertain whether BPL will reach its as-yet unidentified right size. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Tashina Robinson-Blair.
The 2018 Commonwealth Heads of Government has ended. Leaders from the 53-member international organization discussed issues like cybersecurity, terrorism, and climate change, among other issues. The leaders assembled for an all-day retreat at Windsor Castle. At the Togum final press conference earlier this afternoon, Commonwealth Chairman and Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the Right Honourable Theresa May, looks forward to a successful two-year term.
I began this week by saying that for the Commonwealth to endure, we must demonstrate our relevance and purpose anew. Today, I believe we have done that. Our Blue Charter, our Cyber Declaration, our commitments to uphold the rules-based international order, to fight protectionism, to defeat malaria, and to invest in education for all our young people. In all these ways and more, the Commonwealth has found its voice.
Commonwealth Secretary General, the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland QC, admires the commitment of Commonwealth heads to ensure the organization's continued development.
The heads committed to strengthen the Secretariat, including to ensuring financial sustainability. The Secretariat is here to facilitate, to assist, to collaborate the work that is undertaken on behalf of the 53 countries. And it was of extraordinary value to watch the Commonwealth 53 members work together with such determination to address matters of such importance, not just to the Commonwealth, but also to the world.
Former bank employee Travis Mackey pleading guilty to stealing by reason of employment. The 36-year-old Faith Gardens resident admitted to stealing $90,000 last year from Royal Bank of Canada. He was also charged with laundering the proceeds of criminal conduct, falsification of accounts, and making false entries. Mackey was fined $1,000 on each count, and he has to pay the $13,000 by the end of the day. If he doesn't, he faces 2 years behind bars. He was also ordered to compensate the bank $61,588.97. He has a month's time to do so, and if not, he's unable to face a year behind bars. Kendra King was also charged along with Mackey. Police say she aided and abetted him, stealing $56,000. She also denied laundering those funds or acquiring them as a result of proceeds of criminal conduct. She pleaded not guilty to those offenses and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. She's expected back in court on July 3rd. And still to come, pop-up farmers market moving to the inner city. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or a 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
Coca-Cola Bahamas has always been a strong community partner for us. They've supported and helped us to
reach hundreds of young men through Sprite basketball,
create a fun and interactive United FC,
go a little bit further for our animal friends,
feed thousands of Bahamians every year,
preserve our natural habitat,
and celebrate Bahamian culture and Junkanoo on Pastry.
The Caribbean Bottling Team is committed to the communities that we serve around the entire Bahamas.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
The pop-up farmers market now in 2 locations this Saturday in a push to move the Bahamas away from a dependence on food imports to food self-sufficiency. The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation will bring farm fresh produce and fruits harvested this week by Family Island farmers to an inner city community. In addition to its Gladstone Road site, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation announcing today a second location on Meadow Street at the Mother Butler's Park from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday. It was 13 weeks ago when BAIC launched its pop-up farmers market on Gladstone Road, providing greater access to fresh vegetables and fruits at affordable prices. It complements a Ministry of Health push to encourage the nation to adopt healthier eating habits, says BAIC Executive Chairman Michael Folks.
We did not realize that we were tapping into such great demand for Bahamian produce, but we are pleasantly surprised that we are contributing toward the food security and sovereignty in our country.
It's the corporation's goals to bring the farmers market to inner city communities of New Providence. Bain and Grantstown is just the first stop. Area Member of Parliament Travis Robinson.
The government continues to push the mandate of promoting healthy living and healthy eating. And I think that this pop-up farmers market is an excellent avenue or vehicle to which to achieve that goal.
REACH, the Autism Awareness Parent Support Group, is continuing the celebrations this month to raise awareness. With more and more children being diagnosed, officials want more parents to become involved to enrich their children's lives as opposed to sheltering them inside. One child out of 68 is reportedly autistic. It is higher in boys. Here at home, many families have benefited from the free programs the non-government organization provides, including its recently introduced 6-week summer program. Sherilyn Bethel has seen progress in her 7-year-old daughter.
She was nonverbal. She could not communicate one-on-one with anyone. She used to hide in the closet. She wouldn't be social. And she went to REACH's summer school last year, the first one that they'd had of that kind, where she had speech, occupational, and behavioral therapy every single day. And after that, my daughter was reading. This is not just talking, she was actually reading. This is a major thing for us because our daughter was nonverbal. And for her to come from being nonverbal to pointing towards jump and jumping, it was like beyond, it was like her going off to college. That's what it felt like.
The Green Earth Festival is just a little more than a week away, where officials are promoting a healthier lifestyle through a plant-based diet. The project is one in partnership with founder of the Seedlings Place and a Catherine International Academy that is pushing a healthy lifestyle for its students. This year's event is set for April 29th at Fort Charlotte. School principal Rhonda Wright.
The Green Earth Festival is a festival that was founded in 2010 by an organization called Seedlings Place, a nonprofit organization that's geared toward raising the awareness of a healthy lifestyle, primarily through plant-based foods, sustainable living, green living, etc. We're excited about this year's plans because as this is the 7th year of Catherine's founding and the 10th year since the founding of the Green Earth Festival, the partnership is perfectly timed as a part of the anniversary celebrations for the school. We've done a number of things this year to celebrate that, and the Green Earth Festival will be the culminating event of those things.
A Catherine Marketing Director, Samara Patawi, explains how the festival strengthens teachings on better eating habits for students.
This year in particular, we started in 2017, we were given a mandate to become the pilot for an obesity prevention program in the Bahamas. Dr. Higgs was really rallying around that, and she was fully excited to start and get us moving on this obesity prevention program, seeing as the Bahamas right now is looking at being #1 in the Americas for obesity, and that is something that we need to change. So we are starting this program, and we thought that it would be a wonderful opportunity for us to get the children involved and get them working on developing a different perspective on how to look at cultural foods. So we wanted to develop a contest, a competition, a cooking competition for them to learn and figure out different ways to use plant-based ingredients, learn about them, and also develop an incentive to look at some economical ways to use those plant-based ingredients in a delicious and tasty way.
For the second year, barbers will participate in the Master Barber competition, and founder Corio Gibson expects competition to be stiff with the return of last year's winner, Brian the Barber. 4 barbers will face off in the event, where they will showcase their cutting skills Sunday at the BCPOU Hall on Farrington Road. The event begins at 5 p.m., where contenders will show their skills in 3 different categories, including fading, creativity in designs, and freestyle. Gibson explains why he started the Master Barber competition and what is in store for the winner.
Barbering is my passion. I might know myself, I was doing barbering from in school. Doing it professionally, I think I've been doing it about 12 years now. So I went to BTVI, graduated from there, and the sky was the limit from there. The winner from this show also, we intend to take the winner from your all-expense paid trip to Trinidad and Tobago. They'll have an upcoming competition there. August 5th, we'll be going down there for that also.
Defending champion Brian the Barber says he feels confident he can win again, and he is always interested in improving his craft. First-time competitor Harry Alexis says he is in it to win it.
My confidence level is way up there, so you can't win without confidence, so you know what I mean, it's way up there. I ain't underestimating anyone. I know what they want, and I know what I want for myself, so You know what I mean? It ain't. I could just talk and don't walk, so I'd rather just walk the walk and not talk the talk.
I'm here to take the defending champion on a roller coaster, because this ain't no easy game. Being a barber, you gotta be really professional and really good at what I do. And I'm here to show him it's gonna be a real fight, so he have to bring his A game. This ain't no joke.
With very few girl R&B groups in the Bahamas and the Caribbean, one young and vibrant producer set out on a mission to fill that void by creating Super Cute. It's a 4-member group of junior high school students who are passionate about singing and the music industry. Recently, the talented group launched a music video for their single called Neck Roll. Here's their story.
Say what you want, talk all you've got.
With their powerful blend of voices, the newest Bahamian girl group Super Cute will no doubt take the Bahamas and indeed the world by storm with the video Neck Roll, their 3rd hit single. Alina, Leia, Farah, and Elaine, who was absent due to a prior engagement, visited our ZNS studios recently with Private Island Records producer Angelo Martin to promote the new catchy single released earlier this month. Martin, who has worked along with clients on BET, Showtime, and AT&T, told us how the girl group came together.
A friend of mine had invited me to the Shanique Miller show, and she has a daughter. And I had mentioned what I was trying to do or what I was looking to do with my daughter, and she said, "Oh, my daughter sings too," you know. And her daughter ended up being Elena. She introduced us, and Elena did her thing, real nice. She introduced me to Leah. There were a bunch of other girls who wanted to audition, but this child sang the national anthem like nobody else.
For 13-year-old Elena, there is one thing that will make her career in music worthwhile.
Going to the Grammys. I really want to go there. Like, as a group, especially to go there with these 3 ladies, you know, sisters.
The upcoming superstars also released singles like We Don't Need No Boys and A Girl Like Me. As part of a marketing kick, the group is encouraging Bahamians everywhere to assist them in saturating the market by getting involved in the Neck Roll Challenge.
We would definitely love for y'all to go to YouTube, type in Super Cute Neck Roll. Super Cute Neck Roll. We need you all to get in on the challenge. Please post with the hashtag The Neck Roll Challenge, DA Neck Roll Challenge. That's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to get out to the rest of the world right now.
LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News. Stay with us. Sports is up next. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything.
entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Some tennis news starting us off. Sydney Clark making it to the semifinal round of the Barbados Cup. She came from a set down, winning 4-6, 6-3, and 6-2 over Spain's Sandra Alonso. Now Clark not as fortunate at doubles. She and Beijing partner Gabrielle Leslie, they lost to Alonso and Stefania Gonzalez 6-2, 4-6, and 10-3. From the minor league baseball diamond last night, Todd Isaacs and Lake County winning the rubber game of their series with fellow Bahamian Chavez Young and Lansing 4-3. Young, he finished up the game 2 for 4. Isaacs was 0 for 4 with a run scored. As for Lucius Fox, he was 0 for 1 that is, and left Charlotte's game with Clearwater after being hit by a pitch. Charlotte won that game by a final of 10-3. Back here at home, the government secondary school softball and baseball season continuing yesterday. On the senior boys baseball diamond, the C.R. Walker Knights down the C.C. Sweeting Cobras 4-1. GHS, they got past the Antal Roger Timberwolves 8-6. As for girls softball, C.R. Walker also winner 12-2 over C.C. Sweeting. Antal, however, they were able to flip the script and they beat GHS, winning 10-6. A big weekend ahead for Bahamians on the pro track and field circuit. A handful of athletes on the start list for the Grenada Invitational tomorrow. Men's 200 and 400 meter national record holder Stephen Gardner will open up in the quarter. Ivany Camp will be in the women's 100 meter hurdles. Tania Gaither, she runs the women's deuce. Levan Superman Sands contests the men's long jump, while Jeffrey Gibson, he's in the field for the men's 400 meter hurdles. Also tomorrow will be the final of the Bahamas Rugby Union's Heineken Cup at the Winton Pitch. Cuckoos going after that third consecutive title. They will face off with Bailou at 3 p.m. And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Hi, this is Bodine, and I am so happy to be able to find everything I need and more to live a fabulous life right here at Bahamas Design Center.
For all my cooking needs, for everything for entertaining my friends,
or just plain relaxing, Bahamas Design Center has it all.
Check out their Old Fort Bay store, their Airport Industrial Park Home Center, or their location on East Bay Street. Bahamas Design Center. Fabulous stores for fabulous living.
Minister De Aguilar, now the Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands. What are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to go to the Family Islands of the Bahamas to bring tourism back to our family of islands.
And there's no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Let's go. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com today.
We are their mentor. And when we live long enough to see them succeed, then we know that we have done a great thing. Because that's what we're here for.
Once we get to the kids and we can get Jesus in their heart, then if only we affect one child, that child goes to school in the neighborhood where they might have at least 30 children in the class, and time they spread that good joy, that would be tremendous.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, mid-level trough triggered some showers over the northwest Bahamas. It is now moving into the central parts of the country where those showers are now spreading. But outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies, temperature 81 degrees, your relative humidity at 69%. The winds are out of the north at 6 knots. Your barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars. That is 30.07 inches, and it is falling. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned. More weather is still to come.
In Caribbean news this Friday, JetBlue announced on Tuesday it is again growing in South Florida and in the Caribbean with the start of nonstop service between Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, and Grand Cayman. JetBlue first announced its intention to fly this route in January. Service will operate once daily beginning October 25th. JetBlue is celebrating the news with an introductory fare starting at just $59 one way. The Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, also known as the 5 Cs, is looking for ways to boost the region's access to the Green Climate Fund. The center is on the hunt for proposals from the private and public sector organizations around the region that want to work with the center to develop their ideas into successful projects that are in line with their country's national priorities to build resilience to climate change. And the bird conservation group Birds Caribbean has released a statement questioning the export of rare parrots from Dominica to Germany. Birds Caribbean also joined over a dozen international groups asking the United Nations to investigate the export and help return the parrots to their native land. In March of this year, 12 wild parrots of 2 rare species were exported to Germany. And that does it for the Bahamas tonight, first at 6, but don't you move. News from the north is up next.
We are their mentor. And when we live long enough to see them succeed, then we know that we have done a great thing, because that's what we're here for.
Once we get to the kids and we can get Jesus in their heart, then if only we affect one child, that child goes to school in the neighborhood where they might have at least 30 children in the class, and time they spread that good joy, that would be tremendous.
What you see and hear on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The Code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcast by this station. The code is available on the IRCA website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 1-242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
Meanwhile, Bahamian Shanae Miller-Ubu broke a 16-year-old Commonwealth Games record as she clinched gold in the women's 200 meters final.
Fabulous living, you just can't get enough. Of exciting travel, of sensational adventures, of delicious food, of great homes, and never enough good friends. Fabulous living, Bahamian style. We do it all.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
Everybody, are you on TV? Look, are you on TV? Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? Are you on television? I gotta tell my girlfriend I'm on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, are you on television? I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up before it's over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay?
As a young man at the University of the Bahamas, I have dreams, goals, and ambitions just like everyone else. My wheelchair does not limit me. And neither does my university.
We gon' walk it out and woo, mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up.
Brought to you by UBTV and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
You got to make the best of what you have in front of you. And that's some of our problems. We don't know how to make the best of what we've got. You keep on looking out the window and seeing something better. And you think if you get that, that's what's going to make your, oh Lord, this is what's going to make your life better. But I need to tell you, you need to make the best of who you are.
Join us this and every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. for Faith Touch on ZNS TV 13.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Meanwhile, Bahamian Shanae Miller-Ubu broke a 16-year-old Commonwealth Games record as she clinched gold in the women's 200 meters final.
What you see and hear on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The Code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcast by this station. The code is available on the IRCA website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 1-242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
This Week in the North, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. on ZNS TV 13.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station. You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
For generations, Bahamians, visitors, and international customers have enjoyed the luscious taste of the Bahamian spiny lobster. The spiny lobster is the most lucrative marine resource in the Bahamas that supports a profitable fishing industry, generating millions of dollars annually and providing employment for thousands of Bahamians. Though the lobster fishery seems stable, threats impacting this fishery still exist, including illegal harvesting of undersized lobsters and harvesting during the close season. To address some of these threats impacting lobster populations, a lobster fishery improvement project is being implemented. In order to sustain the country's lobster populations and secure Bahamian livelihoods, all stakeholders must work together and participate in efforts such as the Lobster Fishery Improvement Project to help better manage our fishery.
I would like to encourage all Bahamian stakeholders to promote and support legal harvesting and purchasing of lobsters. If we expect to benefit from our marine resources well into the future, we must take action now and make the necessary changes to protect our way of life.
I think all Bahamians should support the Fisheries Improvement Project. It helps to strengthen the management process for our fisheries.
Garbage.
It's a fact of life. With more than 60,000 residents in Grand Bahama, we create a lot of garbage. When our garbage is collected and carried away, it's tempting to think that it's gone. In reality, though, it has to go somewhere. And for most of Grand Bahama, that somewhere is the Pine Ridge landfill. Every year, more than 100,000 tons of waste arrives at the Pine Ridge landfill, where it is processed and managed in ways that help protect our environment and help protect the residents of Grand Bahama. But make no mistake, a landfill is not a dump, but is a carefully planned facility.
This is a Class D landfill, and that is a category used by the U.S. EPA. A Class D landfill is designed to A, capture any contaminated runoff, to recirculate that runoff and dispose of it through absorption in the garbage. B, you have to cover the garbage on a regular basis. This prevents insects and rodent infestations, also controls odors, and a natural byproduct of the decomposition of the garbage is our carbon dioxide.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Local air carrier breaking new ground, a shooting incident under investigation, and help for Samantha. Find out how you could assist.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Natalia Hall. Thank you so much for tuning in. We apologize for the late start. Topping news, the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial is winding down in the Supreme Court. 3 men are on trial for the murder of the couple at their home in Holmes Rock back in 2015. Today, jurors heard from their attorney who represents the second defendant.
Counsel for defendant Paul Belazaire attorney Jeffrey Farquharson began his closing statements by telling a story about a client he represented in the John Bull robbery case, noting that his client was acquitted after he took the matter to the Court of Appeal. Farquharson telling the jury that there are people in prison serving sentences that they do not deserve. He says the Barry and Sheena Johnson trial is going on 7 months now because he is trying to overcome the overweight by the prosecution, the court, and police who are trying to get over on this little fellow. He admitted to the jury that he's not suggesting that all of the clients that he represents are innocent, but he's just trying to ensure that all defendants get a fair trial, noting that a lot of foolishness took place in the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial, and he is against that. He then told the jury that they have to give Belazaire the benefit of the doubt because the law requires them to do so. He told the jurors that they have to be sure that Paul Belazaire is guilty and they must ask themselves if they are sure, because if the answer to that question is no, then they must let him go. Farquharson then compared a Supreme Court case to a watch, a car, or a jigsaw puzzle. He said it's made up of a lot of bits and pieces, and all of those pieces have to be proven to the jury beyond a reasonable doubt. Attorney Farquharson told the jury that he does not envy them, but they have an extremely difficult job to do, and added that at the end of the day, the ruling of the court is going to be appealed by him or the Crown. Farquharson said that the case is a stupid one because he said Sergeant 772 Lorenzo Johnson mentioned that there was a pocketbook full of money on the crime scene, and not once did crime scene personnel mention that. Farquharson said nothing was recorded, and when he told Sergeant Johnson that this was a dope case, he got upset. Farquharson said the case is a stupid one because the victim's neighbor claimed that she heard gunshots and cars speeding, but did not call the police until the next morning. He then asked what type of neighbor is that. He also accused the judge and prosecution of not knowing what they are doing. Now, once Attorney Farquharson is completed with his closing statement, he is expected to be followed by Attorney Jacqueline Burrows, who is representing defendant Devon Hall, and then Attorney Carlton Sherlin, who is representing defendant Kevin Dames, will give his closing statements. In other news, police in Grand Bahama investigating a shooting incident that has left a man hospitalized. Reports say shortly after 9 o'clock last night, police received a report of gunshots being heard in the area of East Sunrise Highway. Officers responded and were told that there was an altercation between two men in a parking lot of a business establishment near East Sunrise Highway. Police say the victim was taken to hospital and treated for gunshot wounds to the body. He is said to be listed in serious condition. Police later arrested two men, a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. Both are known to the authorities. Officers also recovered a vehicle believed to have been involved in that incident. Tonight, we wrap up our series Inside the Force. In this report, we take you inside the Central Detective Unit that is primarily responsible for investigations throughout the Northern Bahamas. The Central Detective Unit plays a very important role in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Officer in charge of CDU, Superintendent Brian Roll, says the unit comprises of 5 sections and is truly a 24-hour job.
It's the premier unit for investigating major crimes in the Bahamas. In the Northern Bahamas, we deal with Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Abaco. Our offenses can range from murder to missing persons.
The Sexual Offenses section is a major part of the unit. The section is responsible for all matters reported in the Northern Bahamas.
We deal with matters ranging from rape, unlawful sexual intercourse, incest, indecent assault. The most popular matter that is reported is the unlawful sexual intercourse that's involving minors. Adults knowing that minors are being abused, they have an obligation to report the matters to the police. Failure to do so could result in them being prosecuted.
Sergeant Detective Randy Lewis says the General Investigation section focuses on serious crimes.
We deal with the basic investigations for murders. It would generally start in the General Investigation Office, and then sometimes we would just forward it to our serious crime section.
There is also a Business Technology and Crimes unit. Corporal Lanika Scott Russell says they investigate all matters as it relates to business crimes.
Some may refer to them as white-collar crimes. They're basically fraud, all fraud matters. Some are stealing matters as it relates to funds being stolen from different business establishments, or maybe in the banking industry where it may result in a credit by fraud matter.
And for those wanting to own legal firearms, you must first visit the Firearms and Licensing section. Sergeant Charles Charlton says persons must be 18 years or older with good character.
We process the firearms, and that range from .22s, rifle, which is a standard, and 12 gauge, 16 gauge, the 20 gauge, the 410s, regular standard weapons must be 20 inches or longer. But the processing is only done at the office processing, but the Firearms Licensing Authority is the one that makes the decision on whether it is granted or not.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues in just a moment.
Brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to go green again.
With tropical palms from Dolly Madison, Grand Bahama. You asked for it, and Dolly Madison's got it. Flowering trees, tropical palm trees, landscaping trees, indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, vegetable plants, and seeds galore.
It's time to go green again.
Yes, it's time to restore your yard and outdoor sanctuary. Make your home and garden green again. But hurry while supplies last.
Come on down now. We've raised the stakes. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
Hi, sweetie. Could you give me
A high five?
No, honey. I was asking.
The remote control?
No, I want
A kiss. You're so pretty.
Get the KFC Big Box! 2 pieces of chicken, fries, coleslaw, corn, and a new cinnamon biscuit bites, and a 20-ounce drink. Only at KFC Freeport. KFC, always original and finger-licking good. Get the KFC Big Box!
This month alone, I reduced my power bill by over $300 by purchasing a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utility Company. My power bill is now $16. Can you believe it?
Here's another reason why owning a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utilities is right for you. Stop by today at number 8 Oak Street or call us at 225-0766 extension 106 and ask about our in-house financing or lease-to-own option. See you today.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. We now bring you a heart-wrenching story of a young woman in desperate need of help. Despite her best efforts, she is still living under inhumane conditions. And tonight, she's making an appeal for assistance. Shashina Roll-Farquharson has a story.
A painful story of a young woman who says she has done all that she can do to help herself. Samantha Schroeder said some 5 years ago she was promised roofing assistance from a governmental agency. She says her roof was removed and only partially placed back on.
I don't have no roof. The roof is literally off. It's leaked everywhere I go. It leaks. The rats, rodents, everything inside there, crawling inside there. There's no like, say, even molds growing inside there right now.
When our news team went inside, the home reeked of a moldy scent filled with mosquitoes, and Samantha admits that due to the unsanitary conditions, she was forced to move in her car. There, the young woman showed us her pillow and a spread that she uses every night for the place she now calls home.
At first, I still tried to live in there because I still was keeping my daughter. But like how there was no refrigerator and no place to keep proper stuff, I noticed like the rodents would try to get my little bread or anything like that. They would take that and they going in the kitchen to come and sneak in the room where we was sleeping in. So it wasn't really nice. Right, and it's nothing where I like give up on myself. I'm not gonna give up myself. I'm not gonna be walking on the street crazy. But I getting tired of false hope. I getting tired of people say, "Oh, they're gonna do," like you saying they're gonna do, but they're not gonna do. And I don't saying I'm depending on nobody. I do need the help.
But now living in her car is becoming a challenge.
How the car stay still and when it's in one place, I think the heat broughten it out now. So the water still leak inside the car.
So you still get wet when it rains?
I still get wet when it rains. I don't even have good health. I can't breathe properly because all the mold and everything like that.
The gas attendant says while she has a job, she spent every dime over the past few years purchasing plywood in hopes that someone would assist, even if she has to make payment arrangements.
I don't know if I got all my wood. I tried. I spent at least, I have all my receipts right there. If you add them up, they're going to be at least $8,000 or $6,000 just on woods from my bin working. That's all I've been saving up on woods. And I can't, because every day I'm trying to do some type of hustle, try to get wood. I'm doing overtime on my job. I like people think because I'm working, I could afford it. I can't. What the money I make is a day-by-day budget.
This young woman says she simply doesn't know what else to do.
I don't have no parents. My mother's dead, my father's dead. My sister, she's basically trying to help herself. My brother, he's same thing. He has his family, he's trying to help himself. They're still dealing with their struggle and their hurricane problems.
Now she finds that her unfortunate position is affecting her 8-year-old daughter.
I have a daughter. She She lives with a grandmother. My daughter's a 4.0 student. Now my daughter's getting in fights. She's arguing, exploding out for no reason. And and every day, the one thing when I talk to the teacher says she's missing you. She wants to be around you. I don't want to be around here because when she comes around here, she'll know where to be. Anything I bought for my daughter is finished. Her reading supplies, anything for help her to learn, anything finished. If I buy them, Karen buy her Grammy don't have the time to do because she's sick. She's on dialysis. When she come out of treatment, she's weak. So my daughter's basically taking care of herself and taking care of the Grammy at the same time.
Samantha says she needs all the help she can get. And while she admits that she's never had a perfect life, she says life has never been so tough.
I just want to be in a closed scenario, just to be warm, just to be her to be nice and warm, just to, not to get wet, just to lay on, just put a table on, just to read. And how my daughter used to just read a book during the nighttime before we go to bed or something, like able to cook a decent meal and not get it eaten by the next hour. Not by me, by rodents.
Now, if Samantha Schroeder's story has touched you in any way, then she is appealing to you for help. She says coming to the community is her last hope. She can be reached at 443-1714. Shashina Roll-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Shashina. And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
This is Ask the Doctor. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Pat asked, why do you feel so tired as you reach the age of about 55 and over? Your energy levels seem to diminish. What can you do? Pat, thanks, such a good question. There's a medical term for the lack of energy, which is anergia. And while some people may think slowing down and feeling fatigue is a normal part of the aging process, the truth is lack of energy is usually a sign that there may be a specific medical problem that needs to be addressed. Some medical disorders that can cause a lack of energy include heart and kidney dysfunction, arthritis, lung disease, anemia, and depression. Medical research has found a link between anergia and increased incidence of arthritis, sleep disorders, cardiovascular symptoms, and other health issues. So if you experience a lack of energy that begins to affect your normal daily activities or routine, don't accept it as a normal part of getting older. Make an appointment with your family doctor or visit your community clinic to rule out a serious medical condition. If you have other health-related questions, please drop it in my question box at the hospital or at any of our Grand Bahama community clinics. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away. A check on sports is up next with Ricardo Lightbourne.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Phenomenal features a pastor with a past.
I was involved with some people dealing drugs, dealing with all sorts of mess.
Who discovers the power of the cross.
When God has a call on your life, you're able to pass every test.
Bahamians taking the world by storm.
DeAndre Ayton, he is the #1 player in the country.
Study and be incredibly prepared.
Phenomenal news takes to the streets. And a phenomenal word for Grand Bahama.
Phenomenal with Joan Davis Roll.
This Friday at 8 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
And I'm Ricardo Live on a quick look at sports for you tonight. The Grand Bahama Port Authority is going to put together a super weekend, folks, like no other. You see the mural around about the Settlers Way and Coral Road will be dedicated on Monday, April 23rd at 4 p.m. It's a moving, incredible work to honor the Golden Knights. BPA chairman, and that is Sarah St. George, and President Ian Roll says that it's a fitting honor for the Knights and encourage the community to take part in all the celebrations this Sunday in Port Lucaya.
We invite the entire Grand Bahama community to turn out for our sporting heroes on Sunday and Monday, Port Lucaya on Sunday, and the motorcade on Monday afternoon. Let's put aside our worries for a moment and show some real Grand Bahamian love and appreciation.
They made us extremely proud, watching their hard work, and as they left it all out there and gave it their best. So we thought it fitting to have them join the celebrations. We want to encourage the Grand Bahama community to come out and show their support and love for these men who have given so much for our country and have made us extremely proud as a nation. It is our sincere hope that this brings the honor that is so well deserving to Michael, Chris, Demetrius, and Ramon.
And also GB3 President and MP for Central Grand Bahama, Aaron Lewis, and Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Michael Pinta, both commend the GBPA for really celebrating the Golden Knights.
I want to thank you for the vision that you would have had to recognize these heroes. Through your vision, they will now be immortalized on the island of Grand Bahama and by extension the Bahamas. And that will serve as a lasting inspiration for artists to come and as a part of our history.
We live in a community where you may be the flavor of the month today and you are then forgotten because we are looking for the new flavor. And it's important that we send the message that those persons in the future who will do great things require inspiration. And one of the ways in which we inspire the future is to celebrate the past. And this celebration does just that.
The Golden Knights are going to be in Port Lucaya Market Square on Sunday at 6 o'clock. Go out there, support them. It's going to be a great event. That's your sports quickly.
This portion of the news is brought to you by In Style Boutique. Be fashionable, be trendy, be in style.
KMW Battery and Tire Sales is offering oil change special for just $49.99 plus VAT. Includes oil and filter. KMW is located on West Settlers Way.
And that's going to do it here for us in the north.
I'm Ricardo Lightboard.
I'm Natalia Hall. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. CHOGM talks close in London. BPL unions claim they were left in the dark on a right-sizing exercise. And a commercial bank employee tied up in a major theft. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keish Latterly, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, the 2018 Commonwealth Heads of Government has ended. Leaders from the 53-member international organization, which comprises 3/4 of the world's population, discussed issues like cybersecurity, terrorism, and climate change, among others. It was announced that the 2020 CHOGM will be held in Rwanda, Africa. Altaviz Munnings has this report from London.
After participating in the formal opening ceremony at Buckingham Palace and CHOGM executive meetings Thursday morning, the Prime Minister had an audience with Queen Elizabeth II during a meeting for new Commonwealth heads of government in the afternoon. A picture of the Queen and the Prime Minister at that event was posted on the royal family's Twitter page and literally went viral as hundreds of Bahamians have been sharing it across social media. Prime Minister Minnis and his wife were presented to Her Majesty during a reception in the Blue Drawing Room at Buckingham Palace Thursday evening. The Prime Minister had a lively conversation with the Queen. He and his wife then greeted His Royal Highness Prince Charles, Prince of Wales. It was early Friday morning when Prime Minister Minnis and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Darren Henfield, as well as other senior government officials, joined Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honourable Alan Chassanet, and CARICOM Secretary General, His Excellency Erwin LaRocque, at a breakfast meeting hosted by the Commonwealth Games Foundation at the Intercontinental Hotel on Park Lane. Prime Minister Minnis then left that venue to join his Commonwealth colleagues for an all-day retreat at Windsor Castle. Commonwealth Chairman and Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the Right Honourable Theresa May, and Commonwealth Secretary General, the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, led the group into the venue. Prime Minister May said she's pleased and impressed with the level of interest from Commonwealth leaders.
A conversation about these challenges cannot ignore the fact that at the very moment that international cooperation is so important, some nations are choosing instead to shun the rules-based system that underpins global security and prosperity. But I look forward to discussing how the Commonwealth can play its part to support the rules-based order and the very concept of international cooperation.
When the retreat ended Friday afternoon, Commonwealth Chairman, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the Right Honourable Theresa May, hosted CHOGM's final press conference at the Media Centre at Marlborough House. She made this special announcement.
Today we have agreed that the next head of the Commonwealth shall be His Royal Highness Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales. His Royal Highness has been a proud supporter of the Commonwealth for more than 4 decades and has spoken passionately about the organisation's unique diversity. And it is fitting that one day he will continue the work of his mother, Her Majesty the Queen.
Prime Minister May was also pleased about some of the historic decisions made about climate change.
Papua New Guinea has banned plastic bags. Belize will ban plastic bags, forks and other single-use items by 2019. New Zealand has announced a ban on microbeads, which will come into effect in June. The Bahamas is planning to ban plastic bags this year. And the UK has pledged to ban plastic straws, stirrers and plastic-stemmed cotton buds. This is only the beginning of what will be a defining agenda for the United Kingdom's 2-year chair in office.
There's only one activity on the agenda for tomorrow, that's Saturday. The Prime Minister is expected to meet with the Bahamian diaspora here in London at the Bahamas High Commission at Bahamas House on Chesterfield Street. Prime Minister Minnis and his delegation will leave England on Sunday. Reporting from Westminster Abbey, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
One day after officials from the Bahamas Power and Light Company implied that redundancies are ahead of the power company, unions representing line staff and managers held a press conference of their own today, making it clear they do not support any plan for redundancies and called upon executives to meet with them to address the issues as opposed to seeking to do so in the media. Jiminy DeSwain was there and tells us the unions plan to take action to have their concerns addressed if the need arises.
All they have to do is come to us and we can wait the situation out. And we are not going to be talking about this in the press. And if we gotta hear something in the press again, they ain't gonna like what happens.
President of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, Paul Maynard, reacting to news from that Bahamas Power and Light press conference Thursday. He, along with representatives from the Managers Union, held their own press conference Friday to vent their frustrations over being left in the dark and hearing proposed plans by way of the media. In fact, Maynard promises a fight to protect employees' jobs.
It ain't gonna happen, not while I's the president. And I can tell you right now that there can be a long, hot summer if they choose to go about it this way.
Maynard insisting reducing staff numbers won't do much.
If God come down out of heaven today and say, listen, all the staff must go home, how much money do you think you can save? 2 to 3 cents a kilowatt hour.
So if you want to look at Power Secure, how come now they're bringing in new hires, new positions, creating new jobs? Oh, we don't have this skill set, we need to bring this in. This is adding more against salary and more money being spent for the corporation.
As for Thursday's island-wide outage, union officials had this to say.
BEC has aged equipment. You see what happened yesterday? Just after they started talking that foolishness they was running on with in the boardroom, you see what happened? The switch blew. And that has never, that whole board has never been maintained for the past 10 years.
We do not endorse or conduct acts of sabotage. We seek all legal recourse when it comes to our grievances.
Maynard also reacted to the government announcing that Shell had won the bid to build an LNG plant at Clifton Pier this way.
The union is not going to entertain Shell bringing in foreigners to run a power plant that our people could do. That ain't going to happen, and they need to get it out of their mind if that's what they have in their mind.
Now, BPL's board has said only that Shell will be involved with building a new facility at Clifton after beating out 19 other companies that bid on the job. Meantime, while an official conversation on redundancies has yet to be had, the union suggests that the corporation could probably shell out between $160 to $170 million in severance pay. Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Well, Bahamas Power and Light CEO Whitney Hasty attempting to set the record straight Friday as the proposed reduction in BPL staffing levels, which the corporation foreshadowed Thursday, has the union up in arms. Tashina Robinson-Blair has that.
All they have to do is come to us and we can wait the situation out. And we are not going to be talking about this in the press. And if we got to hear something in the press again, they ain't going to like what happens.
President of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, we apologize. We will get back to that report in just a short time. Meantime, the U.S. has released its 2017 Human Rights Report on the Bahamas. The report, released by Acting Secretary of State John Sullivan, noted that foreign male prisoners frequently reported threats and targeting by prison guards at the Bahamas Department of Corrections, pointing out one instance where a U.S. dual citizen reported that prison officials placed a bag over his head and beat him with a golf club. The statement also condemned the prison and detention centers as failing to meet international standards in terms of overcrowding, poor nutrition, and inadequate sanitation. The report also noted allegations of inhuman conditions with no access for migrant detainees to an ombudsman or other means of submitting uncensored complaints except through their national embassy or consulate. The report also expressed concern that unaccompanied minors were not held in a safe house but were detained along with adults. The report also takes note that the law provides no protection from discrimination against lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, and intersex individuals.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a former RBC employee charged with stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from that institution. The details ahead.
And more from this Earth Day. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report continues.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell & Lede, designed for extra miles.
Want to pay less? Or want to save more? Do both. Just bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. With a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank, you'll enjoy one easy monthly payment, plus the chance to win $5,000. So move your loans from other banks to Commonwealth Bank and get ready to pay less and save more.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Me, she was going to Super Value and quality supermarkets for a little bit of this and a lot of that. Normally I'd be nervous, but not with great weekly specials like Rainbow Corned Beef, 12-ounce can, $1.89. Danish Spare Ribs, $2.49 per pound. Par Excellence Parboiled Rice, 5-pound bag, $2.99. Libby's Whole Kernel Corn or Sliced Beets, 15-ounce can, 99 cents. Whole watermelons, $3.99 each. Toffee and Bagels, 20-ounce pack, $1.89. Guilt-free shopping at Super Value and quality supermarkets.
As you know, flow in one form or another, whether it be cable and wireless, or the various other names that we've been known by over the years, we've been inextricably bound up to the Caribbean for the last well over 100 years. So it is almost natural for us to partner with an incredible event like the Flow Carifta Games. We like to think of the Flow Carifta Games as the Olympic Games of the Caribbean. And you know why. It's basically spawned a number of world-beating, world-class athletes from this region, and we expect it to continue to do so for well into the future. We're launching Flow Sports 2, a new channel. And this channel is going to be exclusive to Flow TV customers. And it's going to be full of world-beating sports content. The other thing we're announcing as well is that we're going to make Flow Sports 1, which used to be the old Flow Sports. We're renaming it now Flow Sports 1, and we're going to make that available to all of our Flow and BTC mobile customers. And it basically fulfills the mandate we've gotten from customers, frankly, to make sports and just overall video content available to them where they are, whenever they want it.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. Now back to news from BPL. The Bahamas Power and Light Company CEO Whitney Hasty attempting to set the record straight Friday as a proposed reduction in BPL staffing levels, which the corporation foreshadowed yesterday, has the unions up in arms. Here's Tashina Robinson-Blair.
BPL is not at war with the union. BPL CEO Whitney Hasty making that declaration at a press conference this afternoon. Mr. Hasty is denying that it's a case of semantics when he claims that BPL wants to right-size as opposed to downsize.
Oh, we're not playing semantics. Absolutely not. We won't play semantics with people's lives. We realize that people's lives are very important, and we honor and respect that. The difference in right-sizing and downsizing lends itself to really forcefully moving people out of the organization, right? Right-sizing is obviously moving where there are weaknesses, bringing in some strengths. Where there are shortfalls, obviously shoring those up. And then in addition to that, the voluntary separation says that somebody may decide, with 5 years in this organization, 15, 20, 25 years, right, depending on what the package offers, may decide that, hey, it's time for me to move on.
This all stemmed from a press statement made Thursday by BPL's Deputy Chairman Patrick Rollins.
All the stakeholders agree that at 1,050 employees, especially as we implement new automated procedures, there's going to be a need to right-size. And so we're in discussions now, we're in planning, the planning stage discussions to eventually, at some point, have a right-sizing exercise within the organization.
Yeah.
ID number of staff? Mm-hmm. Well, in the last the last business plan, I think I think it was almost 300. Yeah, 300 people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On Friday, the corporation says it doesn't recognize that number first floated in a Power Secure business plan as accurate. Mr. Hasty says BPL intends to meet with the union regarding voluntary separation packages.
We feel pretty comfortable that once we sit down and look at what the package would be, and once we meet with the union and refine those packages before we go out to the employees at large, that we should be able to meet the numbers that's going to be needed to right-size this organization.
Considering the corporation is cash-strapped, the economy sluggish, it's uncertain whether BPL will reach its as-yet unidentified right size. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Tashina Robinson-Blair.
A Royal Bank of Canada employee charged today with a number of serious offenses which saw hundreds of thousands of dollars stolen from the bank in a 2-month period. Jiminy DeSwain was in court.
Former bank employee Travis Mackey of Charles Drive and Faith Gardens made his first appearance in the South Street Magistrates Court Friday, accused of offenses inclusive of stealing by reason of employment and falsification of accounts. He appeared before Magistrate Sabusula Swain. That arraignment happening in the dark as there was a power outage in the area. Bahamas Power and Light crews were working on Nassau Street to restore power. The 36-year-old was charged with 2 counts of stealing by reason of employment. Court documents show between October 11th to 31st of 2017, Mackey stole $61,588.97, and between November 3rd through 10th last year, he stole $29,091.60. He was also charged with laundering the proceeds of criminal conduct. Further, Mackey faced 10 counts of falsification of accounts. It's alleged that while employed as a business representative of the Royal Bank of Canada on East Hill Street, he made false entries into the computer system indicating Kenji King and Arnica Enterprises were entitled to funds that totaled $115,000. Mackey pleaded guilty to all of the offenses. He was represented by attorney Dion Smith. Smith in his plea in mitigation asked that Mackey be given credit for not wasting the court's time. He explained that his client expressed remorse for what he did, and he was a bank employee for 16 years before he lost his job when the branch closed, but he was later rehired. Smith stressed leniency for his client, who he said had all the funds that could immediately be repaid to the bank. The attorney said his client was simply seeking to show the bank's weaknesses. Now, Magistrate Swain then told Mackey that he breached the bank's trust and ordered that he be fined $1,000 on each count, ensuring that he pay the court $13,000 in total by the end of the day. In default, he faces 2 years behind bars. He was also ordered to compensate the bank $61,588.97. He has a month's time to do so, and if he is unable to, he faces a year behind bars. Magistrate Swain also ordered for the next 7 years that he not be employed with any bank or financial institution. Meantime, 36-year-old Kenja King denied aiding and abetting Mackey in stealing $56,205.71. She also denied laundering those funds or acquiring it as results of proceeds of criminal conduct. She pleaded not guilty to those offenses and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Now she's expected back in court on July 3rd. Jiminy DeSwain, ZNS Network News.
REACH, the Autism Awareness Parent Support Group, is continuing to observe April as Autism Awareness Month. With more and more children being diagnosed, officials want more parents to become involved in enriching their children's lives as opposed to sheltering them. 1 child out of 68 is reportedly autistic. It's higher in boys. Here at home, many families have benefited from the free programs the non-government organization provides, including its recently introduced 6-week summer program. Sherlyn Bethel has seen progress in her 7-year-old daughter.
She was nonverbal. She could not communicate one-on-one with anyone. She used to hide in the closet. She wouldn't be social. And she went to REACH's summer school last year, the first one that they'd had of that kind, where she had speech, occupational, and behavioral therapy every single day. And after that, my daughter was reading. This is not just talking, she was actually reading. This is a major thing for us because our daughter was nonverbal. And for her to come from being nonverbal to pointing towards jump and jumping, it was like beyond, it was like her going off to college. That's what it felt like.
Well, Chairman of REACH, Dwayne Gibson, wants the public support for their Spectra of Jazz evening tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Balmoral Club. On April 28th, it's a fun-run walk. Funds will assist in the summer program and other outreach events to support families. Gibson acknowledges that there is a need to assist those in the family islands, but first, he wants parents of autistic children, even those not diagnosed, to become involved.
We want you to come out to some of our sessions, the parent support training sessions, the parent support monthly sessions. Come into our doors on Village Road, meet the administrator, come to the meetings, enroll. We will look at your child. And what we've done, what we did last time was we were able to advertise, and then we looked at children who had no therapy at all, who hadn't received anything, and they got priority to go into camp. So what our approach is, go to the least among us and try and give them an opportunity and then go from there. So we ask that you join us, and then we'll do an assessment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap. I'm Cleopatra Murphy. Activity in the market went down in terms of trade volumes and number of trades. There was movement in 9 out of the 35 listed securities on the local exchange. A total of 72,427 shares were exchanged, down from last week's volume of 210,893. There were 40 trades on BISEX this week, down from the 44 trades in the previous week. Advancers. AML Foods Limited traded 2,200 shares to increase 2 cents to a new price of $4.25 per share. Finco traded 9,498 shares to increase 20 cents to a new price of $6.43 per share. Decliners. Focal traded 12,000 shares to decrease 18 cents to a new price of $4.29 per share. Here is your Royal Fidelity investment tip for the week. Focus on the future. The tough part about investing is that we are trying to make informed decisions based on things that we have yet to happen. It's important to keep in mind that even though we use past data as an indication of things to come, it's what happens in the future that matters most. This has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap. I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, and anytime, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
I've been a customer for the past 2 years, and I will say the quality of the service is very good. During my trip to Andros, I was connected the entire trip, so that was really good. I was able to contact my family members and let them know how the trip was going. We touched land, we're here, so it was very good, and I really appreciate that. And also during times like when we had the storm, it was really good to have that service to reach out to our loved ones to make sure everyone is okay. And I really appreciate Alive for that. And even when there's a little technical difficulty, they always send out a little text message to let us know exactly what's going on. I'm happy to be alive, and I believe in best.
To the greatest mother in the world, thank you. Happy Mother's Day from the both of us.
This is for me.
Oh my gosh! So this is what we doing now? Okay, bro, watch this. For me, I have a surprise for you. Come with me.
You got to be kidding me.
Don't let your sibling one-up you this Mother's Day. Come on down to Connaught Bahamas and catch their Mother's Day sale today.
I worked hard to do well in high school.
Now that I am graduating,
What am I going to do next?
what am I going to do this summer?
I'm going to the University of the Bahamas Summer Bridging Program.
You don't need BGCSE results to sit the entrance exam.
Available for 16 to 24-year-olds residing in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and throughout the Family Islands.
Are you motivated to attend university?
The best part for me though,
on successful completion of the summer bridging program, you can be guaranteed direct entry into the University of the Bahamas.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
In a push to move the Bahamas away from a dependence on food imports to food self-sufficiency, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation will bring farm fresh produce and fruits harvested this week by Family Island farmers to an inner-city community. Tashina Robinson-Blair reports.
BAIC's pop-up farm now in 2 locations. The corporation announcing today that in addition to the Gladstone Road site, a second pop-up market is popping up on Meadow Street at the Mother Butler's Park. 13 weeks ago, BAIC launched its pop-up farmers market on Gladstone Road, providing greater access to fresh vegetables and fruits at affordable prices. It complements a Ministry of Health push to encourage the nation to adopt healthier eating habits, says BAIC Executive Chairman, the Honorable Michael Folks.
We did not realize that we were tapping into such great demand for Bahamian produce, but we are pleasantly surprised that we are contributing toward the food security and sovereignty in our country.
It's the corporation's goals to bring the farmers market to inner-city communities of New Providence, Bain, and Grantstown is just the first stop. The Member of Parliament for the area, the Honourable Travis Robinson.
The government continues to push the mandate of promoting healthy living and healthy eating. And I think that this pop-up farmers market is an excellent avenue or vehicle to which to achieve that goal.
He encouraged residents to take advantage of the opportunity. Centerville, St. Barnabas, and Angleton are other constituencies where the market is expected to appear. BAIC also wants to have a farmers market pop up out east. Mr. Folks says BAIC is sourcing all of the products and foods they can obtain from the Family Islands since there's no longer a $9,000 cap in place per farmer as in previous years. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Tashina Robinson-Blair.
Well, stay tuned. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
The Luther Business Outlook 2018, April 26 at Valentine's Residences Resort and Marina, Harbor Island. The Honorable T. Desmond Bannister, Howard Ricky Mackey, Thomas A. Sands Jr., Irma Carey, Dean Spicella, Ryan Pinder, Carrie Fountain, Chuck Pinder, Clay Sweeting, Andre Knowles, and Michelle Natasha Evans. Register today. Contact Margaret Aubrey at the counselors.
Meet the Smith family. They're on vacation in the Caribbean. Since they aren't familiar with the islands and they want no hassle of renting a car, they downloaded Get Me Ride from their app store, a transport service in the Caribbean to provide safe and reliable transportation. All they need to do is open the app, input their location, and set their destination. Next time you need a ride, let Get Me Ride be there for you.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Well, it's time for a check of your weekend weather outlook. We check in now with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hi there, Basil.
Hi, Keisha. Right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 82 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll, Key Abaco, 82. Marsh Harbor, Abaco with some clouds there at 77 degrees in the Berry Islands, 79. 78 degrees in Allenstown, Bimini. Here in the capital, 79 degrees, more 79s in Harper Island, Eleuthera, Roxanne, Eleuthera. Stanley Key, 80 degrees. Camp Space, South Andrews, Fresh Creek, and Central Andrews also at 80 degrees. In San Salvador, Rumkey, Georgetown, Exuma, Otterstown, Cat Island, 79 degrees. Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, and Ragged Island also reporting 79 degrees. We pick up some 80s in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands, Matthewtown, Inagua, 82 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwest parts of our country, the winds are going to be out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots. That means your wave heights are going to be 2 to 4 feet. High tide takes place at 11:27 tonight. In the central and southeastern islands, winds northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet as well. High tide at 11:27. And then we take you into the central and southeastern islands where we have an easterly flow at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop, and that means caution flags are up for your boaters in the central and southeastern islands. And then tomorrow, which is Saturday, for all areas, that zonal flow will continue, but the winds picking up 15 to 20 knots, so caution flags are up throughout the 700 islands. Wave heights 4 to 6 feet. High tide will take place at 11:54 in the morning, with your low tide at 6:02 in the afternoon. On Sunday, for all areas, winds also easterly at 15 to 20 knots, so the caution flags continue right through the weekend, and the wave heights staying at 4 to 7 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Saw you with your boyfriend just the other night. He had you snatched up, y'all really, really tight. I'm not the kind of fella who like OPP, but I must admit, y'all, I feel a little jealousy. Every time I see ya, I break the golden rule. I had a crush on you, y'all, from we was in high school. But homeboy beat me to the deal because I never told ya.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Cholesterol is a waxy substance your body uses to protect nerves, make cell tissues, and produce certain hormones. Your liver makes all the cholesterol your body needs. Your body also gets cholesterol directly from the food you eat, such as eggs, meats, and dairy products. Too much cholesterol can have negative impacts on your health. Low-density lipoprotein, or LDL, is often called bad cholesterol. It delivers cholesterol to the body. High-density lipoprotein, or HDL, is often called good cholesterol. It removes cholesterol from the bloodstream. If your total cholesterol level is high because of a high LDL, you may be at a higher risk of heart disease or stroke. But if your total cholesterol is high only because of a high HDL level, you're probably not at a higher risk. Triglycerides are another type of fat in your blood. When you eat more calories than your body can use, it turns the extra calories into triglycerides. Your cholesterol level should be as follows. Total cholesterol level less than 200 is best. 200 to 239 is borderline high. 240 or more means you are at high risk of heart disease. LDL cholesterol levels below 100 is ideal for people who are at higher risk of heart disease. 100 to 129 is near optimal, 130 to 159 is borderline high, and 160 or more means you're at a higher risk of heart disease. HDL cholesterol levels less than 40 means you're at a higher risk of heart disease. 60 or higher greatly reduces your risk of heart disease. Triglycerides less than 150 is best. If you suspect or have been diagnosed with high cholesterol levels, talk to your doctor right away about how to lower your levels and stay healthy. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The best high school soccer teams in the country on the pitch yesterday. Our Amajal Knowles tells us who was able to stay alive in their quest to be called national champion.
Well, the four spots for the National Soccer Championship finals are all set. This after 8 teams did battle at the Roscoe Davies soccer pitch yesterday afternoon. In the girls' first semi-finals game, the Queen's College Comets took on the C.R. Walker Knights, an hotly contested bout as the teams were locked at 1 goal apiece for roughly 50 minutes, but a late goal by Tara McKenzie sealed the Comets' spot in the finals and gave them a 2-1 victory.
The team's victory was epic. We battled and we were the deserved winners. C.R. Walker, fair play to them. They've come a long way. We've been playing them for about 3 years now, and they are on a high level. They're on our level, but we showed today who are the champs.
The second girls' semi-final pitted Aquinas against Lucayan International. This was another tight one that saw the game going to penalty kicks. This is where the the Buccaneers took advantage, pulling it out at the end 4-1.
It was a tough game. Aquinas came out playing really hard and playing really well. So some very fast and skillful girls. So we knew, within the first 5 minutes it was going to be a real struggle to play well today. I asked my girls to play the ball on the ground, play it to feet. They managed to do that at certain times. They got knocked off the ball and put some pressure on them. So it didn't go 100% our way, and we just couldn't get close enough to that goal to put it in the back of the net. The Aquinas keeper made a fantastic save on one of our shots, which kept us out. But I'm very proud of the girls. They kept on playing all game, and they never let us down. And then in penalties, managed to keep a cool head, and our keeper managed to save 2. So put us through to the championship, which is fantastic news.
On the boys' side, the Lyford Key International Dragons made slight work of the Tabernacle Falcons, completing a hat-trick in the first half and cruising to a 5-0 victory, and locked up their spot in the finals on Saturday.
Right out of the blocks, we were. I put pressure on our team to make the first 15 minutes count. They did just that, and that took the pressure off of us as coaches, where we could get our entire bench on quite comfortably and give them some great experience to build their confidence up. Because obviously we've got one more important game to go on Saturday, and to be honest, I couldn't ask any more of our team at the beginning, and the technical skill they showed and the ability on the ball with possession was a pleasure for us as coaches to see as well. So we were very pleased with their performance, and it's given us a lot of confidence going into the final on Saturday.
And in arguably the game of the night, Anatole Rogers took on St. Andrews. And much like the second girls' game, the teams were evenly matched throughout and were deadlocked after 70 minutes of play. However, after a pressure-packed 5 minutes of penalty kicks, Anatole managed to squeeze out a 4-3 win and secure a berth into the finals. After doing battle for well over 70 minutes, the question remains, will Anatole be able to continue this momentum in the final round? For Zetnest Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Senior Padria Seymour rolled to a pair of victories at the Texas Invitational last weekend and helped the Longhorns dominate the meet. For her troubles, Seymour was recognized as the Big 12 Women's Track and Field Athlete of the Week. Seymour stormed ahead of the field in the women's 100-meter hurdles to a win in a time of 13.16 seconds. She also ran the opening leg of UT's 4x1 relay team that won in a time of 45.56. This is Seymour's first Big 12 Athlete of the Year award and the first time for the women's team this season. She will join other hurdlers and sprinters this weekend at the LSU Alumni Gold Meet. The University of the Bahamas, they are set to make history next week. They will send a women's 4x800 meter team to the Penn Relays for the first time.
We have Quanisha will be running. We have Amber Ford, who was once a career athlete. He's coming around well. We have Ramika Josie, who came out of Exuma, Ellen Coakley, while I was there. And also Janisha Cabrin, who also came from Ellen Coakley of Exuma. And Tavia Bullard, who's a fifth person for the alternate. So we have a strong 4x8 team. 3 girls that are under 220. Quanisha, I'm looking to go at least 210, as well as number 4 to go under 213 as well, and Ramika is under 220, and the other 2 girls are looking for 225 out of them. So we're looking for to set a record, of course, and hopefully win the gold down there.
Susie Ineas was one of 3 Bahamians to compete in the 122nd Boston Marathon early this week, and the conditions were very different than they were used to.
We're so used to training in this heat. We have to get up super early to avoid the sun, whereas there we were kind of piling on the layers, so wearing like 2 pairs of pants, 2 shirts, waterproof. So that was very tough for us, something that we're not used to at all, but we're pretty tough. Marathon runners are pretty tough, and we were able to overcome it.
Ineas also spoke about whether or not she has any further plans for marathon running.
Not for a full marathon. It's very difficult to train for, particularly with having 2 young kids. So I'll be taking a break from the longer races for now, just doing some of the shorter fun races here in Nassau.
The DTSP Wolfpack has been in existence for the past 5 years. Coaches Larry Clark and Derek Brown say this track club is one of a kind.
We're very selective in persons to whom we allow to be a part of our Wolfpack family.
Most people don't know most of the kids here are actually honor roll students. So that's a little secret that we have going, honor roll students. We started out with just my children, my nieces and nephews, and then cousins and extended family, and then we started recruiting other persons.
We take a holistic approach to developing kids. I always say it's not just about running fast times and making teams, it's about the whole person that we're developing. So we encourage the kids to, you know, pray. They have their spiritual foundation in place. We feel that's very important. We pray before practice and we pray after practice. That's something that we really stress and we really encourage them to do. And so in addition to that, we also encourage them to, you know, just to be disciplined and to take the sport seriously. Whatever you do in life, you need focus, you need discipline. So whether it's track and field or it's something else, you know, later down in their careers, they can use those same skills.
Bahamas Elite will put on a basketball showcase next weekend. Organizer Rodney Curry provides the details.
On day one, the kids are going to do drills. The coaches are going to put them through a series of pro drills, college drills to see how well the kids can drill. Day two, we're going to play 2-on-2, 3-on-3. And the remainder of the showcase is going to be 4-on-4, 5-on-5. So each individual person will be able to showcase their talent. For the 3-day event, it's $200. It comes with your jersey. It comes with your Powerade, all the drinks that you're going to have, your instructions from the coaches. Also, we have to do a player's profile. And we have to put in depth in terms of the player profile for these coaches. And also, along with your signing up, we're going to put you on a platform that has over 8,000 additional coaches and universities that you're going to be able to upload information that you could be even further recruited.
With female basketball struggling in the country, Coach Curry is making sure the girls aren't left out.
Even in the Bahamas, even tournaments, we have very less tournaments for the girls and everything's for the boys. And our girls are just as talented. Look at the young lady that we have inside the WNBA, and the list goes on. So basically, we would have brought the head coach from St. Thomas University, a scout for Indian River, and several other scouts that are seeking young ladies for high school and college.
The Junior Baseball League of Nassau is winding down its 2018 season. Stephen Bishop-Beneby spoke about how it's been going in the girls' softball division.
It hasn't been as good as last year. You know, we had some of the girls who we took on weren't serious, and we didn't have them showing up 100% of the time for the games. But for the games that were played, they were tremendous, and we've shown a lot of progress. I think this is the first year that we can say that we have an exorbitant amount of young pitchers coming through the system. And as the pitching develops, the league is going to develop. First of all, we used to have games, the lopsided game, 23-5 and stuff like that, but games are more competitive now. We get games 3-2, we get 6-7, we get more competitive games, you know. And the girls have really tried to pick up what Sari has been putting out, and a lot of them, they go and they wake up with Sari when Sari's waking out, and we get Ramona Hanna, and they're very helpful.
JBLN Commissioner Jeff Albury went on to speak about how the season has been going as a whole.
There's 3 weeks to go in the season, and teams are fighting for playoff positions, and you know, our 29th year is another successful one. What can we say? Well, the playoffs start 2 weeks from Wednesday, and we are enough for 2 weeks. And right now, the other issue is we're training our all of our age groups for the national tournament in Freeport in June, and we're going to go down there ready to win.
And how is this year compared to the other 28 seasons?
It seems like they all roll into one. You know, we finish in July really, and we start up again in August for our 30th, and you know, we started registering kids, and you know, with almost 500 kids in the program this year, we're very proud that we're able to not only teach these kids some baseball, but also some life lessons, and make some friends, and keep them off the Xbox.
And that will do it for our sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
this belief that the cabinet must be homogeneous is foolishness. Unless you surrender your testicles and ovaries at the door, you are still a man or a woman able to articulate what you think is in the best interest of the country.
And you don't see chaos in operating a government in that manner where every...
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Miss something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that mid-level trough, which dumped a few showers over the northwest Bahamas, is now over the central Bahamas and will gradually spread into the southeast Bahamas later on tonight as well. Meanwhile, we have another weak frontal system across central Florida. That is pushing towards the south and east. We expect it to sneak into the northwest Bahamas sometime tomorrow, and that too could bring 1 or 2 brief passing showers and just a slight cool down during the nighttime hours. Tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy conditions. Things are drying up a bit as most of the moisture is now moved south of us. Low temperature getting down to 72 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny with a stray shower or 2, particularly in the afternoon, with a high temperature reaching about 85 degrees. Extended weather forecast over the next 7 days. We're going to keep showers in the forecast through the weekend as a result of that front, which we expect to move through. So it looks as though we can even have some thunderstorms on Sunday and Monday as well. Things drying out quite nicely on Tuesday, heading into the middle part of next week where an abundance of sunshine will be around. So if you have any outdoor activities, well, you're going to have to leave those alone until the middle of next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night and a great weekend.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.